Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our LinkedIn Live with Treena. Treena, I'm so glad to see you. We are dying to know about Big Marketing Meetup, and that's why we're doing this live. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself, first of all.
Okay, so I'm Treena. I'm a marketeer of 20 odd years with a bit of a penchant for events. About 3 years ago, I went to the Festival of Marketing in London, and it was a great day. And when I was sitting in the airport on the way home, I thought, why is no one doing this in Belfast? So I just got a bit frustrated and went, well, I'll do it then. So I just selfishly maybe set up a program that I wanted to attend myself, uh,
Mm.
put together an event that I would like to attend myself, and thought maybe 20, 30, if I'm lucky, maybe 40 people might come to this, and we'll get a wee marketing community going in Belfast and in Northern Ireland. And we had 167 for the first event.
That
So,
is amazing.
and I think it
For
just
anyone
shows.
who doesn't know Treena, like for anyone, sorry for interrupting you there, but for anyone that doesn't know, she is a powerhouse, okay? And you remind me so much, we've often said this, you remind me so much of me a few years ago when I created Social Media Summit.
Mhm.
Because I wanted, like you, I went to an event and then I went, why aren't we doing that in Ireland? And I was like, we should do this. And then I just got people, like you say, the kind of event that you would love to attend.
Yep.
And so, like for you, like marketing is obviously a gap. Like I've seen it too with social media, but like marketing is such a gap. Like there doesn't seem to be events just about marketing to help marketeers.
Yeah, no,
So
100%, Sam. And that's kind of where I was coming from, because I get very frustrated about marketeers being seen as the poor relation in business, just the colouring in department. Um,
the coloring in department.
because I've been on the other end of that myself, in various places that I've worked, and Trina's just here to make nice brochures and, do the odd social media post, which is obviously every marketeer knows is not the case.
No.
So I just kind of thought, well, look, marketeers deserve a bit of time out, and they deserve to learn, and they deserve to have some peer-to-peer networking and support. So that's kind of where it all came to. And we're now 4.5 weeks away from the third one. So all good.
Well, that's fantastic. But tell us a little bit. So it's called Big Marketing Meetup, and it's in Belfast. Tell us, what date is it on?
So it's the 14th of November.
14th of November, everybody. So the 14th of November. So what can people expect at this
Okay.
event?
It's a full day of learning. So it is packed day. We have 15 speakers, and they are some seriously, seriously knowledgeable people. And really, it's a chance, Sam, for everybody to learn sort of latest trends and what's going on in the world of marketing. But it's also a chance to just connect with your peers and be together and be with your tribe, which I think is really, really, really important, because there's lots of networking events that we can all go to, and we do, and they're great. But this is just for marketeers, comms people, people who work in the same industry, to learn and share from each other.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's nothing like it, meeting other people like-minded that get what you're talking. Like if I start talking about, we're using Restream at the moment. So if I start talking about Restream to somebody, my husband, let's say, he'd be like, what are you talking about? Whereas if I say it to other people who get what I do, it's just so much nicer. And
Yeah.
just so anyone that's watching, we have 30 people watching at the moment, please put a comment and we will throw it up on the screen. Ask a question, ask Treena a question, anything you want. How much are the tickets, Treena?
Well, the early birds are sold out, Sam, but the tickets are £245 for the day, which for that,
You get that for that, yeah.
you get 15 speakers, and you get a full day of crack and a bit of laughter and a few surprise things thrown in, and you'll get some entertainment at lunchtime, and you'll be well fed, and then you'll even get a drink to top off the day at the end. So
Oh my goodness.
it's good value in comparison. If you look at the program and look at the amazing speakers we've got, it's good value, I hope.
So tell me more about the speakers. What can we expect?
So we've got 15 of them. They are seriously, seriously good. I would be here all day if I went through them all, but to give you a couple of highlights, we start and finish with two people that are probably quite recognizable to anybody in marketing. So kicking us off is Joe Glover, and you'll probably know Joe from the Marketing Meetup, based over in Cambridge. And then tailing us off at the end of the day is Seth Godin, who you will probably know from being Seth Godin.
Yeah.
Just marketing legend. So Joe and Seth are both talking about something they're really passionate about, which is the importance of strategy in marketing. So they want to talk about, look, tactics are important, but you've got to have the strategy behind it. So you've got to bake the cake before you can ice it. So they're both topping and tailing the day with that. So that's very exciting. But we have our other speakers are talking about AI, we have creative consistency, we have social media, we have marketing disruption. So everything you can think about is thrown at the day, and people are going to learn so much. We also have someone Sam, former Hollywood child star. So thanks to Sam, she introduced me to a lovely lady called Alison Arngrim. And if any of you remember Little House on the Prairie from the 80s, which I certainly do, Alison was the little girl who played Nellie Olson. And if you don't remember her name, you'll probably remember she had lovely blonde ringlets, and she wasn't a very nice girl.
No, she was. I was afraid of her. I was terrified of her. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah.
So Little House on the Prairie is actually 50 years old this year. So Alison and your good self are going to be chatting on stage about the power of nostalgia and social media and in marketing overall. So really, really looking forward to that, and just her experiences of a Hollywood child star.
And you know what, Alison, during the pandemic, I think a lot of us had to pivot. Melanie has just commented, really looking forward to hear from Joe and Seth and Samantha and thanks, Melanie. But yeah, but I know that Alison had to pivot herself because she had lots of live shows. And so myself and Alison, I would have shown her how to, like she does live streams. She started doing a lot of social media around that time. So she has her own real life experience of marketing as well. Like how much she had to do and the things she had to learn. Like we all have to learn. There's so much to learn at the moment, like AI and all these new things. So being a marketeer is not as easy as people think. Like you're not just posting, you're actually researching your target audience. You're looking at Google Analytics. You're going to see what works. You have to learn the new skills, the new tools that are out there. So it's really valuable. So people, what do you think people are going to leave with after the event?
I think they will leave. I think they'll be excited, and I think they'll feel really inspired, which is great. And I think they'll come away with new friends and a lot of new information. Yeah. And I think if that happens at the end of the day, I will be delighted, Sam, because I really am so passionate about marketeers being at the top of their game, and I want marketeers to be at the top table. I would love to see more marketeers in the C-suite. I mean, in Northern Ireland, there's not that many of them. I mean, across the world, there's probably not that many of them. But I'm a big believer in we should be at that top table because we are a strategic business discipline.
Oh, I love it. Oh, strategic. Say that again.
Strategic business discipline.
There we go. I think we need to actually talk about that a little bit more. I mean, I agree. I think, sometimes it's an afterthought. Nearly, and it's so important to make sure that you're actually, and I often talk about this engagement. I mean, engaging, like people would post, you can post till the cows come home, but like the engagement piece is really, really important. So, I know we'll definitely be speaking about that as well. And I know that people, when they leave, you'll have probably a new strategy for 2025 that you can implement more or less straight away.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And actually there's one speaker, again, who a lady called Gina London. I'm really excited about Gina's presentation. So she's joining us virtually, but Gina is a former CNN anchor, and she was a White House correspondent. And she's a fascinating lady. She talks about leadership and the language of leadership. But at BMU, she is going to be talking about the most fascinating subject, which is the US elections.
Yeah.
So she is going to do a sort of a look at the communication styles of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And she is going to be reporting back to us, which we'll be there 9 days after the election. So we'll know who the new president is by the time the event comes around. And she will be showing us how their communication styles have helped them, and also what we as marketeers can take from those communication styles for life outside of a political podium. So how to communicate. So I think it's going to be a brilliant session from Gina. So I'm really, really looking forward to that one as well. So a lot of learning, but a lot of practical advice as well that marketeers can take and implement the next day.
Absolutely. And I love, the way collaboration is another really important thing. And myself and yourself, we are collaborating. The fact that Alison was coming to my event, my social media fest, which is on the 20th of November. So the fact that, collaboration is also really important. So there'll be a lot of collaboration, a lot of knowledge sharing, a lot of, actually, some people might not know. I know at my event as well, I noticed this, and I think you had it at your event as well, where people actually that weren't sure about things actually knew afterwards because people were helping each other in the audience.
100%, Sam. And what I loved seeing last year was I stood at the back of the event last year, which was in a sort of a tiered theatre venue. And when people were talking on stage, all I could see was heads nodding. You
Yeah.
know, heads nodding in agreement. I'm thinking, yes, I get that. Yes, I understand that. Yes, this is good for me. This is valuable for me. And it was really powerful, you know, really, really powerful. I'd say the biggest head nod came when Seth Godin came on the stage, because I had to surprise everybody. But I'll not be surprising him this year because he's officially in the programme.
Oh, I know there are a few little surprises now. Yeah, I know there are a few little surprises coming, and definitely I know that everybody is going to have a chance to connect with each other, learn from each other, but also, where's the venue? Tell us where it's being
So
held.
it's the ICC Belfast, also known as the Waterfront Hall, if you don't know it.
Okay, brilliant. And the hashtag for the event, if anyone wants to see the speakers, if you just go to the hashtag BMMU Belfast, you'll be able to see and use the hashtag on the day, because there were lovely tweets from last year if you want to see what it was like last year. So if people want to book their tickets, they go to bmmubelfast.com. Yeah.
That's the one, yeah. So the whole program is there. All the speakers have now confirmed their topics. So you'll get a real deep dive into what they're going to be talking about. And the schedule is there. And yep, tickets are still on sale. And everyone that buys a ticket will get a free digital copy of Seth Godin's new book, which is called This Is Strategy, which is being released on the 24th of October. So
wow, lovely.
Yeah, so that was very generous of Seth. So once the 24th of October passes, anyone who has registered for a ticket will be getting a copy of the book digitally from Seth, so they can swat up and read it before the day, before he takes to the stage from his studio in New York.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, by the way, folks, I know Treena has another event tomorrow. So, very, very best of luck to you, Treena. I know you're a powerhouse. Do you want to tell people a little bit about that one? Is it too late to get tickets for that now?
Well, unfortunately, yes. It's a family business event, so we have 100 people coming to W5 tomorrow. The lovely Gina London is coming up for that one as well for me to talk about leadership, and we have another fairly famous name joining us on Zoom from Detroit, and that is Kat DeLorean, who is the daughter of John DeLorean, from the inventor of the DeLorean car. So we've got Kat joining us from Detroit to talk about her and her dad's legacy, and we're even going to have a DeLorean outside for photographs.
Fabulous. Well, we look forward to seeing those social media posts. But definitely, folks, if you are interested, by the way, in sponsoring this event, I know Treena has got a sponsorship slot available if you want to get in front of marketeers. So for a potential sponsor, can you just tell them a little bit about what they'd get?
Of course, yes. So we are working with a couple of event partners at the minute, and so I'll give them a shout out first, because they'll all be contributing something fun on the day. I think it's important to say, Sam, that you'll learn a lot at BMU, but you'll also have a bit of crack. And you'll have a laugh, you know, because when I was putting together the conference, I thought, well, I want to go, I want to learn loads, but I want to have a laugh.
Yeah.
So these partners are working with me, and we're all coming up with different ideas for things that they can do and how they can bring something to the event, you know, because I'm a big believer of, I love working with event partners, but rather than just, you know, put a banner stand up, put a logo up, let's get involved with the guests. Let's do something, you know. So that's really the way I like to work with sponsors, is to let's give them something so that they really remember the event partners. Absolutely. So shout out to the guys at Horrible Brands, Ian and Chris. So they're working with me. Goodness only knows what they're going to come up with. I await with bated breath. We have Sarah from Market Search, we have Tina from Excalibur Press, and we have Una from the Indie List. So they're all working on lovely things to get involved with the guests. We also have a lovely corporate gifting company called Needy. Laura and Lou will be with us on the day, and they are going to be bringing along some nice treats for everyone. And finally, in terms of event partners, we have Emma and Rita, who are from the Blame It on Marketing podcast. So just to give you an idea of how they're partnering with me, so they're coming along, and they're a bit tongue-in-cheek. You know, everything gets blamed on marketing in the business world. So they're going to have a marketing suggestions box. And marketeers will get to come and put either ridiculous things they've been asked to do, or suggestions for how their bosses can adapt.
Make us go viral. Make us go viral. Number one, make us go viral.
It'll be good crack. But the thing I'm most looking forward to from those ladies is at the end of the day, We're going to have a couple of drinks and sort of before we all go off into the sunset and back to our lives again. And the ladies are going to host a game of bullshit marketing bingo. So I leave that to your imagination as to what that might be. But anybody who's coming along gets to come for a game of bullshit marketing bingo at the end of the day. So it'll be
Brilliant, brilliant. Well done, well done. And Sarah says she can't wait for this.
Hi, Sarah. So in terms of event partners, Sam, yeah, we have a couple of booth spaces left. So if anyone wants to come along and kind of do something similar that the other guys are doing, and just be there and just talk to the guests. And if you want to get in front of marketeers and they're your target audience, then be there on the day, talk to them, engage with them. From the last 2 events, we have a brilliant community. Brilliant bunch of people, and they are all really keen to engage, and they're all really keen to find out who they can do their work better.
Actually, you have a big marketing LinkedIn group as well, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
So if anyone's interested in that, just message Treena and she'll send you the link. And look, the best luck with your event tomorrow. I know it's probably a little bit stressful as well. And I know you have a little bit of a cold, because so do I. So she still showed up for our live. So well done, Treena, and the best luck tomorrow. And yeah, definitely book your tickets. I can't wait to go. I am really looking forward to going up to Belfast. I love Belfast. Every time I go up there, I get such a lovely, warm welcome. And I can't wait to meet everybody there as well. So well done, Treena.
Thank you, Sam. You'll have a ball, I promise.